Hello, Stitchy friends. My name is Shanda, and I live along the Continental Divide in Idaho. And for the first time ever, and probably the only time ever, I have more fully finished things to show you, FFOs, than I do anything else. That's probably a first and going to be a last. I have been a finishing frenzy fiend in the last couple of weeks, both in my stitching and two other little projects, not quilting related. But I do have a lot of FFOs today to show you, like fully finishes. The way the pile is arranged here is it's pyramid in a cone shape. Pyramidical? Is that a word? I don't know. But it doesn't slide anywhere. So I'm going to show the things to you right off the top. From Scattered Seed Samplers, Pure in Heart. It's just a hanging pillow. I put my initials on here and I changed the scripture because this is the scripture that has the Pure in Heart reference. And I'm just going to hang this back here on my pie safe. But Pure in Heart. Just gotta love that sheep. The next several I finished last fall, Christmas, but I finally got around to fully finishing them. This is out of Fall and Winter Punch Needle and Primitive Crafts. And I want to say it was called Cookie's House. And I skipped the wreath that was on the outside of here. This is an okay thing. It's not one of my favorites, but it's finished. It's done. I made it into a pillow with some red on the back, and it will just sit in my dough bowl. And I want to say, yeah, again, this was so long ago. I don't remember what I stitched it on, but it was DMC. I want to say I just used the called for DMC. This tiny little one was a Valentine's, but it was a freebie on Pinker and Pumpkins blog, and I want to say it was called Valentine House maybe, but it's really, really tiny. Really tiny, but it will fit in my dough bowl. You got to have all shapes and sizes, right? And the house is like 1 or 2 threads too high because my kitty cat, because the house shouldn't be quite touching the heart on the top. It should be closer down to the key, but oh well, it's done. It's just going to sit in my dough bowl. So anyway, Pinker and Pumpkins blog. Oh, maybe it's even Home is Where the Heart Is. It was around Valentine's Day within the last 2 or 3 years. So real simple little stitch. Pretty much all of these are stuffed with fiber fill because I had some and I wanted to use it up. My sawdust was up in the mountain house, so I wanted to get them done rather than wait any longer. This was an oldie that I finished a long time ago. It's just embroidery. There's more cross stitch down in here, but like I said, I'm taking these things off the top. Thanksgiving 1804. And my granddaughter helped me cut this out. So she cut a little bit close to the writing, but oh well. It is done and it will look just fine in my dough bowl. Thanksgiving 1804. Not a pattern from anybody. Usually I find a font that I like, enlarge it on my computer, make it say what I want it to say, type out Thanksgiving 1804, you know, whatever you want it to say, simplify, Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving, whatever. And then I just trace it on there and embroider. And this one I did not put any frill fun stuff around the outside edge. It's just as it is. Okay. The next thing is for my granddaughter for Christmas, just a little stocking stuffer maybe. I wanted to use lavender for her little girl's lingerie or underwear drawer, like we all used to have these little sachets. This one is just from Blackbird Designs. It says, "Remember me." And I had specifically in the summer, I had bought some lavender. I forgot to bring it down here with me to use for stuffing. So I put lavender oil on some rice. So anyway, that's just gonna go in her dresser drawer. And I'm gonna sign it on the back here before I give it to her. She's coming, I won't see her at Thanksgiving, but she's coming the second week of December, so I'll give it to her then. But it's kind of heavy now because it's filled with rice, but it smells good. Remember me, it's a Blackbird leaflet, I want to say. And a bunch of us at Maggie's on Main cross-stitched this in honor of Alma. Okay, now we're getting to the nitty-gritty. From With Thy Needle and Thread. This one turned out a little bit lighter than I wanted. See if we can get that glare off of there. Bittersweet and Blooms, maybe. I will, again, put this across the bottom, but it's Brenda Gervais, With Thy Needle and Thread. This has been a favorite of mine for a long time, but I finally got it, I found a frame and put it in there. Very, it looks very worn because it's so light, but I still love it. I love it, love it. I'm going to take this one out of the package. Pineberry Lanes, Autumn on Marigold Lane. I posted this one on Instagram. And this one I have 36 count weeks tin roof is what I stitched it on. And the house color I changed from onyx to wrought iron, because if you look, those houses in that cauldron look dark midnight blue. And I wanted mine to look dark midnight blue. So I changed mine to wrought iron. There it is. Stuck it in an 8x8, fit perfectly in an 8x8 frame. So this was this year fall, start and finish for me. Love the alphabet on the side. It's one of my very favorite things about this chart. Love that alphabet on the side. I'm gonna name myself Sleigh Bells. This frame was kind of a green, and I painted it black and sanded the edges. And I'm just gonna put it right here in front of this plate when I get done with my FlossTube. So you might see it next month. Anyway, I love this one. Sleigh Bells. I kind of got fall, I got Christmas, I got a Valentine finish. I kind of got the gamut here. And as promised, I gave myself marching orders last month. And I actually finished 2 of the projects I showed last month. And this was a freebie. Somebody brought that to my attention. Ever Blessed. This is a freebie from Beth Twist, Heartstring Samplery. And that's why I only had just the picture. This is off of her blog. And I couldn't show the chart, but I can because it's a freebie. But it's got my writing all over it. I just used DMC. I think Beth on the website, she had recommended several DMC colors. So I picked from them those DMC colors. I changed the date, I don't know why, to 1810. But I think this is cute the way this little guy turned out. Backed it with blue. Blue is one of my very favorite colors. I love blue. And notice the little lights in the window. I saw that idea from somebody on, it's either Pinterest or Instagram. I apologize, I don't remember. I think I typed in hashtag Everblast and it came up, but anyway. Everblast Beth Twist Heartstring Samplery. This one is also a finish that I had not quite, it was a 2020 Mania start for me. And it's off of the Loose Feathers, or the, I don't have it with me, it's up in the other house. But the Blackbird Design series that's autumn, winter, and spring. Summer, autumn, winter maybe. There's 3 right in a row. This is off the back of autumn. And it's called Pumpkin Blossom. But I just love that crow. And this is Colonial Tea from Dames of the Needle, mini pom-pom. Backed it in cheddar. So you can see I've kind of been a little busy. I've been a busy beaver trying to get these things done. Okay, the next thing is the FO, just the FO, not the fully finished. Holiday Inn by Brenda Gervais with I Needle and Thread. And this one, I have to confess, I am a little disappointed in. This chart was copyrighted in 2014, and of course we know the dye lots have changed. And the house, the cauldron, the witches' dresses, they all look a lot darker. Let me see if I can put this up against something. Mine did not come out that dark. I don't know if you could see that. The dresses look a little on the green side. The roof and the cauldron are not that dark. You can kind of see. I'm just a little disappointed. I can barely see their twigs of bittersweet or whatever it is they're holding. But it is what it is. Holiday Inn, I could restitch it if I wanted. Darken up everything. But here is my finish. Just a little bit on the light side. And I did measure, it will fit perfectly in a 12 by 12 frame. So here in the next while, I will find a frame for this. This down here is not a wrinkle. It's part of that really strong dye color that runs through. This is 28 count. Oh, it's that 28 count gingham check linen from Weeks Dye Works. And the way the modeling came, it runs right up through the bottom of the cauldron and kind of out the top. I realize some of these color choices are because of the fabric that it's on, but the roof, just the roof and the cauldron, I think could have been darker. It's obvious from this picture that it could have been darker. Even the like the chalkboard that says boo. The cat is okay. I just felt it could have been, let me see if I can find something to put this against. One of the receiving blankets. I just felt like it could have been a lot darker. But it's cute. I love it. I love the stars and the moon up in the sky, which you can barely see, but they're there, and the bats. So it is what it is. I like it. It's done. Okay, on to, I have 2 new starts for the month. Didn't want to not have a start. If I finished so many, I wanted to have a start, right? Stacy Nash, Ohio Farmstead Pin Keep. And this was a PDF. And I print my PDFs out and I put them in a sheet protector. Oh, that peacock. Ooh. Trying to leave it up there a little bit longer so everybody can see it. And this is my start. I don't have the house or anything started, but there's my peacock. And I'm doing with this what's called for, the linen is, let me tell, I know what that crow was. It was called Dye Pot from R&R, now that I think about it. 36 count Winter's Brew by R&R is this fabric's, is this chart's fabric of choice that I'm stitching it on. And I'm stitching it, she gives you some DMCs. And you know Stacy and her timeless classic colors. That's what they will be. And my bling is really small, but it's just a basket. Okay, and then my second start was Not Forgotten Farms. Everybody's doing this and I love it. I've had it forever. Forever. I've had this forever and I just finally got around to starting it. The Reverend Gordon Squash Bottom. And I started him on Halloween and now he will be put away till next fall. But I did put him in my, oh, what do you call this? Like my scroll frame. And I basically did the lantern down here and I started, I love the border. Needs to be kind of tightened up there, but anyway, little start on the Reverend. So I keep him now because I finished Holiday Inn. I keep him in my cheddar and black. What's the hold up down in here? A plastic bag, project bag that I made. And up here is my pin, so Smoky, Prevent Wildfires. He's too cool to not be out on a project bag. Anyway, the Reverend Gordon Squash Bottom, Not Forgotten Farm. This, let me talk about that for a minute because I just put this away. This linen, it's not even, well, it is a linen, but I got this way back in the day when Boise used to have, hang on a minute, I'm kind of all twisted up. Way back in the day when Boise used to have our own LNS, and now our LNS is in Emmett, Maggie's. There was a LNS, a local needlework shop up on Vista, and it was called Needlework Studio. I got this up there, and it's literally called 18 count 18, Linen Natural. This is such a primitive, baby, it's cold on outside on this kind of linen. It's open enough. Stuff just looks really primitive on this count. I know it's 18 count, but the coloring and the nubbiness of it, it's pretty stiff. I don't know, you could probably stitch in hand on it, but it's pretty stiff. And I just love the way stuff looks when I'm finished with it. So that's what this is on, is 18 count Linen Natural. Let me hold that up again. And right up there on the right, it says count 18. I love it. Okay, so when I do sit down and stitch at night, when I'm not finishing all the finishes that I have been stitching on, I am really close to a finish on Where My Heart Blooms, my very favorite of all time Blackbird design chart. I'm stitching it with, it's called for as 30 count Courtney's Blend, 30 count Courtney's Blend, Courtney's Special Blend. Mine is being stitched on 36 count Weathered Shingle by R&R. And here is my progress. I'm really close. I got the house to fill in and the two flowers that go on either side of his, the date and that red heart. Let me hold that up again. Oh, just love this one. Just love it. This one has been reprinted in the latest Blackbird book. Here are everything's called for on this one. I'm just stitching it with the called for threads. And this one I made my own bling, and it's part of the chart. Let me see if I can get that going the right direction. Yeah. It just says where my heart blooms. One more time, where my heart blooms, Blackbird Designs, 36 count weathered shingle. Oh, I can't wait to get this one done. Okay, we're down to just a few things here. What am I going to concentrate on? I'm going to finish Where My Heart Blooms. I should have that done this weekend. And then the two others I'm focusing on are both Christmas related. The first one I hope to have done before Christmas is over. Maybe not framed and whatnot, but Christmas Rose Blackbird Designs. And I want to say I got, no, I didn't get the country sampler conversion, but I am stitching on all on called for with called for threads. Blackbird Design Christmas Rose. And part of the last part of, I just want to show you that picture right there. That is my great grandmother and grandfather. And they were married December of 1917. So their monogram, I'm going to put up there in the top. And then down here, instead of 1916, I'm going to change that to 1917. I'm stitching this in their honor, and I have just a very small start. It's on 36 count Ren. I have across the top and down the side. This one I will focus on, and I hope to get this one done before Christmas. Maybe not framed, but at least the stitching part done. And this one I started, 36 count Ren. This one I started last fall, and I just never got back to it. So now's the time. And this is in my Christmas primitive red work by Lisa Bonjean. And the inside is the same. Light insides, no dark insides, light insides. And I'm stitching this with called for, I think I already said that, called for colors, mostly all weeks dye works, actually all weeks dye works. And there's my bling for this one, a little Santa. And then the last cross-stitched piece, this is what I'm going to call my homework. Let me get this out. I can't show you what I've done with the chart because let me tell you what it is. And this will make sense. It's O Tannenbaum, look, well, here it is. O Tannenbaum by Brenda Gervais. And it's the one with the box. And I have the box. But my little stickies for this year, which is the sleigh. Let me show you the sleigh that I'm doing. This is 36 count linen, everything else by Mystic. This is the sleigh. This is how far I've gotten. The sleigh is to be done December and January, right up there at the top. That's where it goes in the box. Then once that one's taken off, February and March 2013 will be the little snowman village, the snow village. So see, I have these. Then April, May is, oh, Christmas tree on the side. I didn't mean to cover them up. It's just an easy way for me to remember which month I'm doing what. And if I keep up with 2 months, I'll have this done before Christmas next year. I have the box. My favorite is this Santa, and he will be done in June and July of next year. Oh, I just love that Santa. And I'm going to try and find a small little, there's a name for him, and now the name has escaped me. For those little sheep. Oh, I love that Santa. Anyway, so yeah, I've got all the way till August and September. Crazy me. It's just the only way I can remember to keep it straight as to what I'm stitching what month. So this is my homework piece, and you'll see it, maybe not every FlossTube, but at least every other. But I have the sleigh and part of the harness done. So I'm on my way to get this one done. I want this one done. This one I definitely want done. And I won't show you the chart, but I did piece it all together just like is suggested in Brenda's instructions. So I can easily fold it to the one I'm working on. And yeah, the Santa is the biggest one of the whole box to do. He's pretty good size. So anyway, but I did him June and July of next year. Figured he'd be a great one to do for Christmas in July, right? So those are the 3 projects I'm going to be focusing on is O Tannenbaum, Christmas Rose, and finish Where My Heart Blooms. I think that is all. I do have a question. Wouldn't it be wonderful, and I just know this doesn't exist, but I was mentioning this to a friend the other day. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we knew of a website where you could type in 28 count doubloon by Picture This Plus, and it would come up with all the charts, a good portion of them anyway, that the models have been stitched on 28 count doubloon, or 36 count Abecedarian by R&R, or Lakeside Linens, or whatever. I have a yard of 28 count doubloon, and I don't quite know how to use it. Stockings, it's either 1/2 threads or over 1. I'm not sure, but I have a whole yard of it. And I want to use it. I love the color. I love the color of doubloon, but I'm just not sure how I'm going to use this up. And I was wishing I knew of other charts that maybe I have that I could stitch that 28 count doubloon on. I just think it would be a very handy reference. Also, a couple years ago when I was doing my quilting videos, I had asked the question, what is everybody's favorite part of Thanksgiving dinner? And I got the gamut from the turkey to the stuffing to the gravy to the sweet potatoes. Let me know if you choose to comment down below what your favorite part of Thanksgiving dinner is. Mine happens to be the steamed carrots. It's just a family tradition of ours. My mom used to make creamed peas, and I liked those. Aside from the turkey itself, don't even get me started on desserts. I love them all, as long as there's pumpkin in them. Pumpkin is the only thing, really, I only have that in the fall, so you got to get your fix around Thanksgiving time. But I'd have to say mine is the steamed carrots or the creamed peas that my mother used to make. But let me know what your favorite part of Thanksgiving dinner is, and if it's a family heirloom recipe. You don't have to tell me what the recipe is. Just, you know, I know a lot of families have their own take on things. So let me know in the comments below. Have a very happy Thanksgiving. I am grateful for my life. I am grateful for the smallness of my life. We all have our own ways to shine. And take inventory. Take inventory of those small, tiny blessings that you enjoy. That you have a toothbrush, that you have things that you need, that you have loved ones around you, that you have your pets. I enjoy certain things. I love more. I love people the best. But even falling leaves, I'm grateful that I can watch out my window. I'm grateful right now that I have family, and that really is the meaning of the season. Don't rush holidays. Don't rush Thanksgiving to get through with Christmas. We can do Christmas stitching throughout the whole year. Take time to enjoy Thanksgiving for the holiday that it is, for the gratitude in our hearts that we have for others, for those blessings in our lives that truly make our lives wonderful, worth living, and enjoyable. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and I will see you in December.